At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia, from education to politics, arts and culture, entertainment, agriculture, history, religion, family, and technology. Focus on Liberia uncovers and showcases the best of Liberia and shows the world the truth about Liberia. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We conduct interviews, panel discussions, debates, and more. Tune in to Focus on Liberia on Facebook and YouTube and be a part of the stories that make up the news.
This is Focus on Liberia, and I am Dennis Jah.
At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia, from education to politics, arts and culture, entertainment, agriculture, history, religion, family, and technology. Focus on Liberia uncovers and showcases the best of Liberia and shows the world the truth about Liberia. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We conduct interviews, panel discussions, debates, and more. Tune in to Focus on Liberia on Facebook and YouTube and be a part of the stories that make up the news.
This is Focus on Liberia, and I am Dennis Jah.
At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia, from education to politics, arts and culture, entertainment, agriculture, history, religion, family, and technology. Focus on Liberia uncovers and showcases the best of Liberia and shows the world the truth about Liberia. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We conduct interviews, panel discussions, debates, and more. Tune in to Focus on Liberia on Facebook and YouTube and be a part of the stories that make up the news.
This is Focus on Liberia, and I am Dennis Jah.
And I am Ansony Sieh, and a pleasant welcome to Focus on Liberia. And you heard it there. We are about educating, elevating, and promoting all things our dear country, Liberia. This is indeed a special interview with Evangelist Milton Joshua Blahyi, who has made a statement that many people are concerned about concerning the tension that is ongoing at the Liberia and Guinea border. And obviously, because of who he is, a prominent figure in Liberia, who play a major role in our past conflicts. And so when he says something that is related to tension or conflict, people are concerned. And he having to be a former military person. And we are talking about tension and conflict and his speaking. People are not taking his statement lightly. And so, folks, I want to welcome you. Today, we confront a movement where history, accountability, and national security meet on the same stage. A former wartime figure, now Evangelist Joshua Milton Blahyi, has re-entered public discourse with strong warnings directed at neighboring Guinea amidst rising bowl of tension. His words have sparked debate, concern, and deep questions about his intention, his influence, and his understanding of Liberia's fragile peace. This conversation is about responsibility. It is about the weight of public statement in a region still healing from decades of conflict, and it is about understanding why a man once associated with our past civil war now feel compelled to speak on matters of national security. Joining us this time is Evangelist Joshua Milton Blahyi. Evangelist, thanks for joining us. I know you're joining us on the phone. Thank you for joining us. How you doing, and how is your family, sir?
By the grace of my family, doing very well, and God is gracious.
Thank you very much. Let me raise the volume here so that the audience can hear you very well. Let me raise the volume. Okay, that is set. and we are ready to go. It's good that your family doing well. I see that you pick up your wife today from the airport. You went live. I saw that, and I saw some happiness on your face. That is good to be a family man. How was her flight? I'm sure she shared that with you.
Yeah, she came through Ethiopia, and flying from America to Ethiopia is almost 16, 17 hours. And she got to Ethiopia, flying back to Liberia is almost 7 hours. And even though she says she's happy, she came in a day, and the experience she appreciated, but it was tedious. However, her friends, her childhood friends from Nima County, because she's from Nima, she's a daughter of Moses Blahi, the late President Moses Blahi. So they went to pick her up from the airport. Surprisingly, I did not know they were there. She herself did not expect them. And since they brought us home, they have not gone. They're even out there thinking.
All right. You know, I'm always on that route, so I know how tough it is. Usually, you know, you have to travel for 2 days, sitting down sometimes one place for 8 hours, depending which route you're using. But, you know, glory to God that she's home safely with you and the other members of the family. Well, let's get to it. And this border tension that is happening right now in between the border there, at the border in Liberia and Sierra Leone, you chose to join in the conversation. Given your past as an actor in our civil conflict, do you recognize your words carried a different emotional weight that those of ordinary citizens cannot really understand? Do you understand that?
Well, yes. Yes, I know. I'm aware that my words carry weight.
And so now, do you worry that your statement could be misinterpreted as a call to conflict or retaliation?
And that's why I jump on this opportunity to make some clarification.
Okay.
I'm aware of that. And so, especially where there is unnecessary internal divide politically, unreasonable internal divide. And that's why I jump on this opportunity to clarify, to get people understand what and why I was talking.
So this is happening, and you chose to speak, and you spoke the way you spoke because you have your own understanding, the gravity of this matter. So what do you know that prompted you to speak?
Well, first of all, I am a Liberian. No matter what my past was, it did not make me Liberian than anyone. And anything Liberia, it is my prerogative, it is my business, as it is the business of any born Liberian, anyone who is a Liberian. More of all, war actually has no restriction and no limitation. And so when a country goes to war, it's going to suffer even the people who did not know the risks of war and called the war, and people who knew the risks of war and called the war as well. And even people who did not call war are also going to suffer the same way people who call the war will suffer. So I strongly believe a situation like this, no one can restrict me from my view. That's the first thing I want to establish. But I have done some serious investigation, and I realized that it is just some extreme division among us and people trying to amplify what has happened. I also realized that misinformation got to Guinea and they're acting on that information. However, what I said was motivated by what I heard from a certain representative in Liberia, or certain representative.
And what was that? What did you hear?
That represents a very big constituent in Liberia. The representative, Yeke Koluba. Yeke Koluba said the land that Guineans are on is for Guinea, and he supports Guinea intrusion into Liberia.
All right.
And he can prove it. He defy anyone.
Noted. Let me hold you there. So Yeke Koluba made a statement that the land in question, all right, belongs to Guinea. But your statement, the one everybody concerned about, is your statement that if Guinea rejects the peace from us, they will regret it and they have a lot to lose. At that time, you were not talking to Yeke Koluba, isn't it?
Yes. So yes. So I was talking to Yeke Koluba indirectly. This is what I said. So I want to bring, you need to, if you play the whole statement, I said Yeke Koluba is pushing Guinea. Yeke Koluba is putting gas on fire to push Guinea.
Yeah.
And if Guinea listen to Yeke Koluba and don't accept the peace that our president is opting for, where our president has humbled himself, our president have despite the many insults going on him politically, people calling him cowards, all kinds of things, that he humbled himself to offer to Guinea a peace treaty. If Guinea listen to the light of Yeke Koluba and decide and refuse the peace and insist that they can invade our territory, if we go to war, Guinea have a lot to suffer, to lose. I still stand by that.
Thank you. So you said the president of Liberia has offered peace to Guinea. To offer peace, that means there must be trouble. There must be conflict. There must be tension. So what is the conflict that you see here?
Okay. From my investigation, that identical water is the border between Liberia and Guinea. And in international resolution, whatever serves as a border is equally for the two countries. Whatever benefits come from whatever that is serving as the border. If it is a tree, the plum, if it is a plum tree, the plum that will come from inside should benefit the both countries. So if one country is mining sand, mining diamond, mining gold, mining iron ore, from what is a border, what serves as a border between two countries, there should be agreement and the both countries should benefit. And our investigation found out that Liberian was mining sand from the water between Guinea and Liberia. And the information went to Guinea. So if Liberians did not enlighten Guinea for Guinea to get a benefit, it was wrong. But it still did not give Guinea the right to not report the matter to the government, and they marched in our territory. Mm-hmm. What Guinea did was wrong. What Guinea did is a breach of international respect for one another.
Right.
So if our president was a violent person, he would have declared war. But he told everybody to calm down, study the matter, and realize, well, this was motivated by one of us. So in his speech, he stopped every mining. He declared that every mining going on in that border area should stop. As he stopped it, he did not stop there. He went to Guinea.
Milton,
Milton,
let me hold you there. Let me hold you there. Yes, you are right. The president went to Guinea. They are pursuing the matter diplomatically. And it is also established by a report that it was mining that triggered, sand mining that triggered this. And the president decided to pursue the path of peace as a means of resolution. You have made it your duty to explain to us as a people, given that you play a role in the past war, what it cost us, and that we should not resort to war at any time. You are on record for this. And so for you to issue a statement that clearly is directed at Guinea, that if Guinea will not accept the peace and will listen to the likes of Koluba, as you put in it, and will go to war, they will have a lot to lose. Someone might interpret your statement as you are prepared for war. That if we have that's why you will want to see. Is that not the case?
No, it is not the case, because this is what I said. I'm giving you the full statement and the intention where the statement came from. Mm-hmm. I'm saying nobody wins war. Nobody wants war. And that is why our president is appealing, is looking, negotiating for peaceful resolution. Then, in the process of the president seeking peaceful resolution, an extremist, a political extremist, came from out of the country, and the speech he made, he was invited on a well-listened to show. And on that show, he reiterated, telling Guinea they were right. In fact, they led Guinea on is out. And so when you listen to the full video, I said, I have come up to declare Yete Koluba my enemy. That's why.
And Milton, let me hold you there, Milton. Let me hold you there, Milton. Let's make a conversation on my brother. You are declaring somebody an enemy for a political statement that they are making. President Bouaka is a politician. He has made similar statements in the past. Are you saying that President Bouaka is not competent enough to respond to Yeke, and you have taken upon yourself and you are declaring Yeke as an enemy? Should you, Joshua, be talking about somebody be an enemy in this Liberia, given what we all know?
So that's why I laid the basic from the foundation. I said, no matter my past, I am a Liberian. No matter what my past is. Until, and I am advocating for also a conclusion of my past. And my advocacy is asking for war crime court. And everybody has me on record. But until the war crime court comes for me to be sentenced somewhere, I'm a Liberian. And I will stand to confront anybody and anything that threatens the future of this country. And so President Bouaka is my president, and he is the president of the country. I am also a citizen. President Bouaka can talk for the entire nation. I can also talk, and he can talk for me, but I can also talk for myself.
But in what capacity? It's obvious that you came to the aid of the president here, and as you are alluding to, in what capacity are you coming now to defend this president? Defending him as who? His supporter? Or tell us.
I don't think my statement is defending the president. My statement was defending me as a Liberian.
Okay.
If Yeke Koluba is saying, piece of the land that I know my forefathers left for me, is for a country that my forefathers fought to give independence. But of rape, their relationship, they lobby, they rape our money to make president. If Yeke Koluba to make a nation, if Yeke Koluba is saying that same country owns the land that is belonging to me, so I'm talking for me. I'm not talking for the president. I'm not talking for the president.
All right, noted. So, Milton, you get information. You are like a son of the president. You are a supporter of the president. There is also information that not yet been confirmed that some officials of government are involved in some mining in the area. Do you care to comment on this? What you know about any mining that may be going on with the involvement of some government officials?
Well, like I said, it is speculated that that very water used to be mined. They used to take sand from there, and that's where they took the sand from to do the different construction contracts in Foya. But the person who was mining it was in connection with the Guinea government, and they were paying whatever due also to the Guinea government as they mine the sand. And the present person who is mining the sand did not inform or were not giving Guinea the fair share. So that was wrong. That was wrong. And I'm saying, even if it was wrong, it still did not give Guinea the right to right a wrong with wrong.
Milton, there are others who are called for an immediate investigation, given that the issue trigger a serious tension, and there are people that got displaced who have to run from their homes at the border because of this. So there has some level of seriousness to it, because the two countries could definitely go to war. Yeah, you are saying if Guinea try it will not listen or yield to the peace, then they will have a lot to lose. So my simple question here is, should you be making threats? Do you see your statement as a threat?
No, my statement is not a threat. My statement is an advice to Guinea to listen to the president instead of listening to Yeke Koluba or the leg of Yeke Koluba. That the president, they should accept the president's peaceful negotiation. Because if they do not accept the president's peaceful negotiation and they insist on war, the prophet Muhammad says, he that is in the glass house should not throw stones. We fought war here and our country. Guinea have not experienced such. So why would Guinea want to use the path of war instead of the path to negotiate peace? So that if they accept the advice or the encouragement from the leg of Yeke Koluba and not the negotiation of peace from the government, they have a lot to lose.
All right.
It is an advice.
All right. You said it's an advice. This is my next question. Have any official from the government, the Ministry of Defense, the Liberian National Police, or any intelligence body in our country, have any of them, contacted you to caution you or consulted you about your public remarks regarding this Guinean issue at the border?
Yes, and I made a clarification, and I told them I'm making it clear to you just how I made it clear to them that it was an advice.
Do you
understand that it is an advice?
Do you care to tell us which agency of the government reached out to you seeking clarity from the statement you made?
No, I don't think it's necessary for this.
Okay, so what actually was their concern when they heard your statement?
They wanted me to clarify my statement.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing. What did I see? What is my evidence? What is my proof? What is my reliance that if there is war, it will hurt Guinea? And that's the same thing I told them. I said we Liberia have gone through war, 14 years of war, and Guinea is in the glass house. So Guinea should not encourage stone throwing.
And so after you provided a clarity to the state officials, did they give you any advice, and what was that advice?
Well, they just wanted to clarify. They just wanted to know what my reliance was. And I told them my view cannot be changed. And I told them just what I'm telling you, that yes, they were trained and assigned by law to protect this country. I, by birth, by divine enrichment, by the fact that I was born as a Liberian, I have my own right to defend my country. So my right is divine, and that is legal. And I don't think it is necessary that anyone can infringe on my right.
So
the only time my right will be seized when I go to court and declare a criminal and go to jail. But as long as I am a free man, it is my responsibility to protect my environment and my country.
So you had issue with Yeke's statement, granted, and now you had your own statement made, and state security officials reached out to you. I'm sure you were advised not to make any such statement again.
If I was advised, why am I still making it? If I was advised not to make it again, why am I still making it? I still stand that it is a mutual benefit for us to listen to the president and negotiate peace. Because it from every indication, it is our side intolerant. It is our side that do not want war. It is our side that is escaping confrontation because 2 of our citizens were shot. Thousands of our citizens are displaced. So we are the ones who don't want war. So obviously, with the evasion, the intrusion, and the refusal to relinquish our territory, it is upon Guinea. And so they are the ones who should be advised more. I said, look, no need for fight because you have a lot to lose.
So obviously, Milton, your statement was triggered by Yeke Koluba's statement.
Yes.
So if Yeke have not spoken the way he spoke, you will not have said something. Do you have something against Yeke?
Yes. Well, nothing personal. But Yeke continues action against the forward march of this country is irritating and it's disgraceful. It's disgraceful.
You and Yeke,
And so
you and Yeke campaign for now President Bouaka. And on this platform during this interview, you said he is your enemy. What kind of enemy he is to you?
Yeke is the enemy that is against progress. It is the enemy that is against the progress of my country. Anything positive, anything to take Liberia forward, Yeke is against it. Started a peace initiation with President Doe, President Toiber, and Yeke decided to stand against it.
So, but
decided to stand against it. So the president again is negotiating peace for Yeke again is standing against it and telling Guineans that they are right. It is their land.
But Milton, there's a different thing to say this person, excuse me, Milton, there's a different thing to say this person is an enemy of progress, is an enemy of peace. But when you say this person is my enemy, should you, Milton, with your knowledge of the past, even our present, what we went through as a country, in which you play a role that you regret, be saying to another Liberian as your enemy, irrespective of what, this is a political actor. Should you be having enemy at this time, Milton?
Well, even God has enemies.
Did God tell you he has enemies?
God has enemies. Yes. The devil is God's enemy.
I don't think so. God never mentioned that the devil is his enemy. You know, this is the Bible that says we are told to forgive 70 times 7, right? And so how could God have enemies? Is this true that God has enemy? Who is the devil?
Well, who is the devil?
I don't know who the devil is. I don't know the devil. You tell me.
Okay, so the devil opposes. He opposes everything of the light, everything of God.
Do you think it's a good thing to have enemy?
Yes, if someone declares themselves enemy to you, they are your enemy. That's why God did not say we should only love, he said we should also hate.
Okay, so will you want to seek some form of reconciliation with Yeke? Because you have asked for forgiveness from your fellow Liberians and from your country because of your role you play. And now here you are making enemies. Will you want to go past this enemy thing and try to make peace with him?
But in the very video, I said it. I said he should come up openly and ask for forgiveness. So I'm asking for forgiveness. I ask for forgiveness openly. To ask Liberia, tell Liberians, I came openly to say I am wrong.
Okay.
So Yeke needs to reclaim his voice. To come up. He said he's still saying that land is for Guinea. He said anybody can prove it. Anybody can come. It's for Guinea.
So
I will reconcile with him.
Yeke is saying the land is for Guinea. You are not sure he's right. In fact, and correct me here, you think he's wrong. On what basis? Do you believe strongly that that land in question or that place that is being contested is actually for Liberia?
When something is a boundary, that means it is serving between two things or two people or two places.
Okay.
So if the Makona is a boundary between Liberia and Guinea that will enter Kino, Guinea that will enter Kino, cross the Kino, cross the Kino to go back from across the river, they cross the camp. What all that one will need? And maybe Yeke have the idea that the river change location. And for some reason, the river changed its movement and it went more on the side of where was the original boundary on the side of Guinea and the side of Liberia until he can prove that.
So from your knowledge of the place,
prove that.
Okay, go ahead. I was just about to ask you, from your knowledge of this area, there's a river between Liberia and Guinea, and once you cross from the Liberia side, you are in Guinea, and once you cross from the Guinean side, you are in Liberia. And the place that is being contested is not in the middle of the river. What place is being contested here? Is it a place that Liberians know to be theirs? What are you trying to say here?
Yeah. That's why the Guineans have to put down Liberian flag to put up their flag.
Okay. So in your understanding, when they pull down the Liberian flag and raise the Guinean flag, militarily speaking, how will you interpret that?
It's invasion.
And
they
so
invaded our territory.
Okay. And so what is your advice to the president, given why you now classify as an eviction of Liberia territory?
The president should continue a peaceful arrangement. Let the president on the body that governs the both countries, bigger body that governs the both countries, and let them come to see into the matter. Because as we speak, thousands of our people are displaced, not just at the point, but down the river and up the river. People are moving now from their places and they are displaced. So the president should move as fast as possible to bring in a bigger body to see into this.
Do you support the call for investigation? Alexander Benedict Cummings, who is a political actor, has called for an investigation that it should be fast and it should be quick. Councillor Tiawon Gonglo has called for an investigation that it should be fast and it should be quick. In fact, he volunteered to be on such investigation because he is not taking the matter very lightly. Do you share the idea of an investigation? How fast you think it should be, and what should happen after any such investigation, Milton?
Where it's straight. The investigation is clear. Liberian mined that water, which was unknown or without the right process to involve Guinea. It is wrong. Let them go in a more. The exact person who did it, let him be called, and even if it is a penalty that they will receive, let them receive that penalty. If that fine is supposed to pay, let them pay that fine. But as we speak, Guinea should be leaving to go back to their side even tonight or at most tomorrow morning as the investigation is going on. If they refuse to leave and the investigation comes up with it, we should ask them what they actually want. What they want, since the man has mined the river without the proper arrangement with them, what do they want? And whatever they want, if it is available, we should give it to them so that they can go back and leave our territory.
Milton, like you said correctly, because of this tension, many Liberians along the border are already displaced. They are not in their homes. What do you want to see the government that you support to do now so that these people can go back to their homes? And what should also be done so that this cannot be repeated never again?
Yeah, what the international bigger bodies supposed to be involved. So first of all, say, okay, the Liberian was wrong, but Guinea as a country is wrong. On our side, the wrong came from an individual. On their side, the wrong is the whole nation that wronged us. And let them warn them that we are in a civilized age. You cannot claim land and own land by the mistake of another. You don't own land by someone wronging you. This is not the ancient days where because you're stronger than someone or you claim you're stronger than someone, you can get into their house, kill everybody there, and take their land. The days of conquest, when Africans were living as conquerors. They conquer any farm, conquer any company, conquer any ship, conquer whatever they conquer, and claim it. There are international laws, international treaty that is protected by modern civilization. So Guineans should observe those laws and leave our country and should never try it again. If anyone repeat the same thing, let them report the person. If the company is big, the company can be confiscated because they already see the equipment. As we speak now, there are equipment from whatever company or person. So why will they come in our territory to evade it? So the president should not take this lightly. Make sure an international is involved, the bigger international body is involved to set a restriction against reoccurrence.
Milton, do you think the Guinea security forces were right, or the Guinean authority was right to have seized the equipment of this group or company that was doing the money? You think Guinea was right? Or should Guinea have reported the matter to Liberia to take action, since these people were giving maybe the authorization by the Liberian government, or the local authority in Liberia has some form of knowledge about their involvement into the money? What do you think Guinea should have done yet?
Yeah, I don't know Guinea law. Mm-hmm. In some countries, the person is guilty until they're proven non-guilty. Mm-hmm. In other countries, the person is not guilty until they're proven guilty. And I don't know where Guinea stands. But if Guinea sees the equipment as an effort to prove that the people was mining the water that's supposed to benefit the both countries, I don't think they're wrong to be able to grab evidence. In Liberia, the law of Liberia, it should be reported to the law, to the government. But if the law of Guinea is slightly different, they might be doing it to have evidence. And I don't think it is totally wrong, even if it is in Liberia. Because if you think the person is operating illegally, when will you go report to come back? They could run with the machine. No matter how big it is, maybe they have something to tow this. So I don't think they are totally wrong for seizing those equipment. If the matter did not reach concession between the two countries for mutual benefit, I don't think they're wrong for that. But that's where they're supposed to stop. They're supposed, as they see those equipment, they report it to the country so the country can do the investigation. What they did is not their law, it is not our law to cross and come. There is no law to cross and come to our country. Even before putting up the flag, if there is friendship between Guinea and Liberia officers at the border, one person can cross to Kobo and it will not matter. But legally, once you carry the flag of Guinea or you carry the flag of Liberia on your arm, you should not cross the border without proper arrangement. Once you have that flag on your shoulder, you have that flag on your chest, when you cross, it's an invasion. So there should be a proper arrangement. Talk more about crossing with arms. The worst, placing your flag is completely wrong. Completely wrong.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I pray that the president will seek international intervention that will advance appropriately.
Folks, if you are just joining us, you are watching Focus on Liberia. We are in conversation with Evangelist Milton Joshua Blahi, who was once known in Liberia as General Bald Naked. He jumped in a conversation about this tension at the border between Liberia and Guinea. It was reported that there was some mining going on which triggered a tension, and Guinean forces crossed and planted the Guinean flag on the Liberian side, as was being reported. And he, according to him, was triggered by Yeke Koluba's statement that the place in contention is for Guinea. And he said he was responding to Yeke Koluba's statement that Yeke Koluba, first, he's wrong. The place does not belong to Guinea, but that is Liberian soil. And that the peace president Waka has offered Guinea, and Guinea should take it. If Guinea failed to do so, and if for any reason we had to go into conflict, Guinea will have a lot to lose. And many people, including me, were very concerned about the statement. And people felt that, well, he could have said it differently. To say Guinea will have a lot to lose, suggested that he was prepared for battle. And knowing that he fought in a civil conflict and he was a ruthless fighter, and for him to say that, he was trying to advise the government and the people of Liberia, or say to the Guinean authority that, look, we are prepared for anything if you try it. And he's noted for saying, don't try it. He supported President Waka, by the way, during this going election, and he said, don't try it. That was the big statement. Milton, let me come back to you, my brother. You went on record, Milton, that people who participated in the war should have no active role to play in our body politics. We interviewed you here and you narrated your reasons, and many people have agreed with you. And so ever since then, you've been out of politics. You've been doing your work as an evangelist, working with young people and trying to rehabilitate them. That's what you have been doing. I was one person who was shocked to see you supporting a presidential candidate and going as far as even campaigning. Milton, tell me, don't you think you have gone against your very standard that you set, that those of you who had a huge role to play in the war should have nothing actively to do with our politics? You campaign. Was not an involvement?
Let me make clarification again.
Please do.
People were asking Joshua, what can you run as a representative? 3 different petitions. 3 different petitions have come to me, and I turned it down. And I said, I do not fit to be a representative. I don't have the moral right to be a senator, a representative. And the reason I gave, I still hold that reason, is because in our body politics today, an environment of 20,000, 2,000 persons can make you a representative in a constituency, especially when we have 16 persons running for one position. If everybody took 900, 600, 800, and I got 2,000, I become the representative. I will be the representative of 20,000 people when 18,000 people rejected me. Rejected me maybe because I killed someone from them or hurt someone from them. But I will be their representative even though they were hurt by me. I will be paid with their sweat and their blood. Their taxes going to be paying me. with such bitterness they have against me. And definitely that pain will be turned to a curse. That office will turn to a curse against me. And so with that spiritual understanding, I refuse to run, to take part in politics that I will get benefit from, I will be paid from. The same thing, I refuse to be on any board. I refuse any offer. If I will help in the DEA, if I will help in on the board of any of the security apparatus, I decline, because entering any board, I will still be paid with the sweat and the blood of the citizenry, and which will serve as a curse against me. So I still hold the value, I still hold my position that anyone who has morally wrong an environment should not be paid by that environment. I still hold that value. Why did I stand? Why did I support President Joseph Blahi openly? During the election, during the campaign, I run, my organization is called Joining Against Violence. And even besides just taking the children from the street to discourage them from violence is just small portion of the organization I run. I catalog every violence that goes on in this country from the time I came back to this country, from early time that I came back to this country. I catalog every violence in this country, starting from even the different depths of violence in the street from motorcyclists. I catalog everyone that reached my desk. I have it, I have date to it. During the CDC government, all the violence that took place, I catalog it. So I am on a joining to discourage violence. And so when the statement was made, people were jubilating with piastic. And they said it was Joseph Blahi piastic. I, as the president of the Joining Against Violence, asked the government of the Republic of Liberia and to disclaim, to distance themselves, to condemn the action of CDC, because CDC is a political party, and the government, even though it was led by CDC, it was a national government. Unfortunately, the president condemned the action at the time. President George Manawia condemned the action. Then I heard another violation directly against my effort that said, we want kush, we want kush, we want kush. I call on the government again. People were in CDC uniform singing they want kush, that they should condemn that identical action, because from 2001 to 2002, I counted 613 deaths from kush. So I asked the government to distance themselves and condemn that statement, and they refused. Because they refused, I concluded that they are in favor of the kush that have killed 613 children in 1 year, more than corona, double the number of corona. For 3 years, corona stayed, the virus stayed in this country. It killed less than 300 people. Kush killed 613 persons in 1 year. And if the government refused to disclaim and distance themselves from that, That means they are directly against my cause. And I will campaign against them. And that's why I campaign against them. Even now, I'm holding a stand against this government. Angry with this government that we led thousands of women to go to the mansion and appeal to the president to intervene for the children in this country. And we did not hear from the president, even though the president declared just the issue of national emergency, and but the government and the president is not treating it as such. They are not treating it as emergency as it was declared. And as we speak, 3 different leaderships have been changed in the DEA. But in that, the president's party was launching a headquarters with millions of dollars because CDC broke ground at their place. And I'm frowning and speaking to this government against that.
Milton, what are some of the things you disagree with, though you supported this government during the campaign and you continue to support the president? What are your own dissatisfaction? What are the areas you think the government is not doing well, for which you want to call the attention of the government? In addition to the fight against drugs, you are dissatisfied about that. You also have issue with, and let me help you here, if I may, when the United Party went for that, it's homecoming, they call it at the time, and the pronouncement that they will build their party headquarters, they said they will build a headquarters in each of the 15 counties. Talk to me, Milton, as clearly as you can speak. You don't hold back. What are the issues you have with the government that you support?
I wish the government would build one rehab in each county.
Instead of political party headquarters?
Instead of, before a political party headquarters.
Okay, and why?
Alongside a political party headquarters. I'm not stopping them from building a political party headquarters, but I wish the government, this is 3 years now. 3 years now. The song that was sung, we tired with push. Our children are dying. And the president declared the issue of national emergency. When Ebola was issue of national emergency, if there was no money placed in budget for it, the government found money when issues are national emergency. When Corona came, there was no previous budget for Corona. The government found money for Corona. The government has declared just the issue of national emergency with urgency. The government should not wait for budget to help and fight emergency. Ministry of Health, Ministry of Gender, Ministry of Youth and Sports, DEA should be giving extra budget, extra money. Rehab, everybody into rehabilitation. As the government building new ones in different counties, money should be released. Just how there were extra money released to all the clinics that was responding to Ebola, including private clinics. As international money was coming, the government was allocating money. The government was paying doctors, extra workers, contractors to fight that emergency. This government should do the same.
Thank you.
Number two,
All right.
on these court issues, where this country is, there is complete bankruptcy. in our legal system. The president, the government should put additional money in fast-tracking cases of corruption. It is left with my one, there should be a decree made. The country is rotting. That's one of the reasons I'm praying God for the war crime court, so that they can help to set our legal balance. Because in every community, in every city, in every nation, where people are not repercussion conscious, no one can live right. If you are not repercussion conscious, if I am working for $3,000 a month, a year I'm supposed to get $36,000. In 6 years, I'm supposed to get about 180,000, between 180,000 to 200,000. If I see 500,000 and you sack me without looking for means to retrieve that money back quickly, and I waste all of those money, what the benefit of sacking me? So the government see where the country came from and how during the previous Unity Party government, there was selective justice. The CDC time, there were no justice at all. In this time, justice supposed to be speedy, with proper effect.
Do you think justice is still selective, or it does not exist at all?
Now it is not concluded. That we see people being sacked, but it's not concluded. It's sacking someone for corruption without concluding. Like even the case of our entity, where somebody died. She was accused and placed in sub beach. Even if this government is freeing her, they should be on the board. They should find the perpetrator. They should find the person who killed that girl and give a statement. Tell people how Shara died. The 3 Mason boys, the cases are still played with. The corruption cases, even in the government now, the people are just being sacked, suspended, and there is no conclusion. The 3 DEA bosses, we just hear suspension and what have you, they have not come to the nitty-gritty. If one of them is wrong, if 2 of them was wrong, if 3 of them was wrong, nobody knows. And it brings dark shadow.
Milton, earlier you said that offers were made to you to contribute to our country by working in the government. You don't have to call names if you are not brave like me. I will respect that. Maybe because of confidentiality, you might not want to do so. All right. Tell me in which government, and I'm putting S to it, were you giving offers? Did you receive any offer in this Joseph Boakai government, the CDC government?
I was giving offer in the past government.
Okay.
And I was giving offer in this government.
So my next question is, in which areas? You don't have to be too specific, if you don't mind.
in different areas.
Okay, so CDC had offered to give you a job and you turn it down, and the Unity Party government of Joseph Boakai offer you a job and you also turn it down. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Joshua, we have reached 1 hour and we invited you here to provide clarification because your statement came across to many Liberians as a warning and also as some kind of readiness to engage in another armed conflict. And it appeared to other people that you were prepared for that. And that is why we have called you to ask you questions for you to explain yourself, what you actually meant and what had actually triggered, your statement. So we will now give you the chance to make that clarification as your parting statement as much as you can.
So I will say it again. My statement was based on Yeke Koluba's assertion that the land in question was for Guinea. If it's Guinea, he support Guinea, they should not take it over at their land. And I was telling the Guineans to not listen to him. And I'm still telling them to not listen to him or any such statement. Because that statement is telling them to opt for war against us. And if they listen to that statement against the president's effort, to negotiate peaceful landing of this invasion, they have a lot to lose because they are in the glass house. If you just go or very quickly, Masanta, I'm not talking about Chrono Creek, Gegedu, the type of structures that are there, for them to listen to Yeke Koluba and his kind to opt for war against the president's offer and continuous offer for peaceful resolution, they have a lot to lose because they are in the glass house. And I pray that they take this advice.
Thank you. And thank you so kindly. We will take leave of you. If at any time we need you for an interview, we'll reach out to you, and we will always do that. And we also want to say thank you for always accepting our invitation. Thank you, Milton.
Thank you, sir. God bless you.
All right. God bless you too. And so, folks, this is how we will come to the end of the interview. And again, that brings us to a close of tonight's interview. What you have heard is exactly what this platform exists to deliver: honest, direct, and fearless conversation about the issues that shape Liberia and its future. Liberia's peace is not an inheritance. It is a responsibility. And every voice that enters the national conversation must understand the weight of that responsibility. So tonight's discussion reminds us that words matter, history matters, and accountability matters. To our guest, Evangelist Joshua Milton Blahyi, we cannot thank you enough for sitting with us and facing these questions. To our audience across Liberia and around the world, thank you for watching, for sharing, and for staying engaged in the work of safeguarding our democracy and our peace. As the region watches development along the Liberian-Guinean border, the call for calm diplomacy and responsible leadership grows louder. Liberia has walked the road of conflict before, and this nation is determined never to walk it again. For Focus on Liberia, I'm Ansony. Thank you for watching. and bye-bye. We will now close with our song that says, "We are all Liberians." And until we catch you again, indeed, we are all Liberians, and bye-bye.
We are Liberians.